Hello and welcome to another episode of Girls Like Nerds. We're in a very different setting right now with my unofficial co-host, Drew Daly, in a very unusual spot.
Yeah, we're hidden in parking structure.
Yeah, we're just pulling up on my ex trying to stalk him now. Okay, I'm kidding.
Quick, get down.
Yeah, it's like, so we just saw Thunderbolts today.
Asterisk.
Yes, it is Thursday night,
Yeah.
and it's been a long day, but we decided to commit and go to the movies for, I guess, technically opening night.
Mm-hmm.
So we could see Thunderbolts and then sit in the car and talk to you about it after, because we've been talking about doing this for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now we're making it
Car
happen.
Chronicles. We need a name for
Yep.
this.
We'll come up with something.
Yeah, when I'm not so tired.
Not right.
For it yet.
It's too late.
I think we decided not to make the mistake last time when we were at Comic-Con last year and we went to see Deadpool,
Yep.
Wolverine, and we didn't talk about it at all. And then the podcast episode was over an hour long. So we talked about it a little bit already after the movie. So hopefully we have a better
We got some of it out of our system, so now we can be a little more focused.
There are going to be some spoilers.
Yes,
I will warn you now. Spoilers.
Yep.
But I'm going to let Drew start this because
she's had a long day. Okay, so I was going into it excited to see it because of the cast. I thought it was going to be very funny and stuff, and it was. It was very funny. It was very well acted.
Very funny.
The cast is outstanding. Opening of not just opening, but like the beginning third of the movie was really good. Like I said, spoilers. They killed off Taskmaster
almost immediately.
Like no, like it was easy. Like they just boom, she's gone, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Right. I feel like it was almost too easy how they killed her.
I mean, it was Ghost, right? And it's like she can't see her coming, and she can't replicate Ghost's powers.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it that's the one. That's probably why Valentina put her against her. You know.
Yeah. No. I think I would have liked a few more scenes with her, and
it was unceremonious.
A few more lines. Like she was such a phenomenal character for me. And Black Widow. And this is all we get. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And then I was like, oh, she's really dead. So she died.
Yeah, she died
very quickly. She did.
And I was just kind of wondering. I was like, why did they choose to kill her off? You know, was it like a contract thing, or they're like, we got to have somebody die, so let's just make it her. You know,
I know. I wonder if there's like a nerdy deep dive that we can do on something like that and figure it out. But
you got to kidnap some writers and figure out what's going on.
You want to slide in some DMs, make some complaints. Tell folks the mic is good. I bet it be. Yeah, so that happened really fast. They have Florence's character. What's her name?
Yelena. I can't remember if it's with a Y or
it's
just
spelled
T.
with a Y,
yeah.
But they say it. Each person says it differently. Anyway, so it's Yelena. If I'm saying it wrong, please tell me. Don't tell me. I don't care. It's Yelena in the movie. She just starts off just like super sad and alone and just like really focused on work, because this is what happens. It's almost like when you're going through heartbreak of any kind, you have another way to have an outlet of things, so you don't have to focus on your emotions and process your feelings. Mm-hmm. Whatever. So she's like at work on these crazy missions, killing a bunch of people, blah blah blah. And then for her last mission, she gets sent to destroy some very important files from Valentina, right? Mm-hmm. And then we find out all these characters got sent to the same location to kill each other off, essentially, and get rid of any evidence of Valentina's involvement in something like this.
It was kind of cool how they did it, though, where she's like, you're not even my mission, and he's like, you're mine. And then this other girl's like, you're not my mission, she's my mission.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know,
they're all
supposed to take each other out, which would have been pointless in the end, because she rigged it to be, it's like a giant inferno. They're just going to burn everything. So they all would have died anyways.
They all would have died in this massive furnace or whatever. So then they end up figuring that out after Taskmaster dies. There's still some BS, but okay. Mm-hmm. And then this new character, Bob, comes into play. And he's just fun. Like, this guy's actually a really good actor. I've seen him in a few things. I like him a lot. And I don't want to go through the entire movie because I just don't want to go through the entire
Uh,
movie. But I'm trying to we can think of our favorite points throughout.
but like the end of this like opening act is basically Bob kind of discovers his powers real quickly, and everybody sees it, and then he just kind of like I guess he passes out or just because he lands or whatever, they capture him and everybody's just like, holy shit, that dude just was flying and he got shot like a million times and wasn't hurt, but it exposed his abs. Um,
Yeah, this guy.
yeah, he's ripped apart.
Listen, this is being filmed on my phone right now, and I looked up his name earlier, and I forgot his real name, the actor's name. What the hell is this guy's workout routine? This is
All right,
insane. He's got abs for days. I was
yeah,
like, you can wash my clothes on them things. Like, golly.
he had at least six of them in there.
we
Um,
didn't even see the whole
yeah,
action. Yeah, so introducing that new character with new powers
mm-hmm.
that was just completely unbeknownst to anybody. And then we still didn't really understand his powers or understand this character. And then we find out he's basically invincible in a sense. He gets shot, he doesn't die, he flies, and he blacks out. Valentina's crew picks him up and takes him to like a secret location. I'm assuming to get like experiments on or something, whatever experiments she had done on him originally. She's realizing, oh my goodness, it's actually worked, and I can
Yeah,
actually use him for the greater good, aka my own purposes, so I can be impeachable, right? Unimpeachable.
unimpeachable. Yeah, and then second act is basically all of the, I guess you could call them anti-heroes,
Yeah,
but
I
they're
like
not
that.
bad guys. They're just, they're kind of like
They're like
normal,
Deadpool-y characters, right?
right?
So
They're a
yeah,
little like Deadpool. Like they're not evil, but they just do some of the hard work that heroes don't
but
do.
those are my favorite kinds of characters. I
They're
think
more
I feel like they're more
realistic and more
relatable.
relatable.
I want to say, yeah,
Yeah, because some
yeah,
people
really
deserve to die.
relatable.
Like,
Like
um,
she said, Valentina's character says a quote in the movie, and she's like, "You grow up thinking there's good people and there's bad people, but then you realize there's actually bad people and there's worse people.
yeah,
So it's not about
so
being a
dated,
hero. It's I know I'm like this girl needs a therapist.
right?
She just needs to get laid. Like I'm like, girl, you're
Oh yeah,
mad. Like you got a lot of pent up
yeah,
energy. Like what is really
yeah.
going on here? That's a whole nother side. To that story. Yeah, and then Bob's character, poor guy, he's just like so vulnerable and so
Mm-hmm.
alone. Obviously, grew up in a very, very broken, trigger warning home, and she like swoops in and makes it seem like she's like this mother figure, and really manipulates him to become this almost Homelander looking character
Dude,
that I
he
was
looks
saying.
very like the costume's very Homelandery, but it's also very comic accurate. So like if they were true to that, and it looks good, but it's one of the super suits that's kind of ridiculous in general,
A little
because it's
comical.
all gold and some blue, and they like dyed his hair blonde, and they make a joke about that, which was great. She's like, "Did you dye your
It's
hair?"
like,
It's
did
like it
you
was her
dye
idea.
your hair? I thought that too. He was walking down the stairs in his suit,
It's
and
like
they
he
call
looks
him
different.
what's his character's name?
Sentry.
Sentry.
Yeah,
And I'm over here thinking like that's a really tight suit.
yeah.
Luckily, we just saw his abs, so I know he's got a really good body under there.
So we know he deserves to wear that suit. Yeah.
But I'm also like, what I don't need to see is cosplayers at Comic Con wearing this Sentry jumpsuit, thinking that they look like this
Without the
superhero
Sentry
character
abs.
without the Sentry abs.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought. The second he came down the stairs, I was like, oh no,
Yeah. Oh no. You're
we're
like,
gonna
oh
see this
god.
like Comic Con like a lot.
Right.
Not from the people you want to be wearing these outfits, though.
Yeah.
But love and light, but not from the
Yeah.
people you want to be wearing these
Yeah.
outfits. Okay.
I really liked the chemistry between all of like the main characters and stuff. Like they played off each other very
Oh
well.
yeah, it was almost like bickering siblings.
Right. Like they all stuck to their part. It wasn't. It was a more grounded movie. And more grounded characters,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, other than Sentry, who's got like infinite powers, basically. Um,
You basically find out he's literally invincible, and then
yeah,
he's
he's a
actually
god,
more powerful than all of the Avengers,
right?
in a sense, because he's a god. I'm hoping if there is another one, they can kind of delve more into how that's possible, like what powers he had or may have not had before, and how going under treatment with Valentina's crew actually enhanced them in a certain way.
Well, yeah. See, I don't know if he had powers before, but whatever experiment did it, I'm like, how did they give him all of these powers, or did they just alter like a chromosome? or something, and then they gave him all these
Right.
powers. Like,
Like I wish they kind of went into that a little bit. I feel like if this was like a
maybe they will in the
Iron
future.
Man kind of movie, he would have explained that biology a little bit
Yeah,
more. But whatever.
the pace of the movie was good.
The pace was great.
It wasn't like a 2.5 hour typical Marvel movie. I think it
Hmm.
was only an hour and 40 minutes,
Yeah.
45 minutes
Yeah.
maybe. Kind of felt like it went fast, but it covered everything. There was character development, and there was like the conflict and the humor and all that stuff, and it kind of got to the point without rushing it.
There was
Um,
like I almost wouldn't even say love interest, but I feel like I had this feeling that Bob and Yelena were having kind of an intimate connection. I
yeah,
don't
I mean,
know if
they
they're gonna explore
definitely.
that more later, but
I mean, maybe
yeah, I thought that was. I was like, okay, so they
they
have any?
they definitely made her like connect with him and stuff
Yeah,
because
she didn't see his abs yet though,
yeah,
so I think that would have sealed the deal.
I don't yeah,
She's
because
on the fence.
she didn't see him after he got shot.
Yeah,
They just saw him get shot and then they drove away or whatever. But yeah, they definitely built a connection there.
yeah.
Um,
During the time that Sentry is really becoming this like kind of maniacal, egotistical character, Valentina's team made this was like a kill switch,
hmm
like something just whatever in the back of his brain. I'm assuming that's like a chip and that's been installed when he was undergoing testing.
hmm
That's just like a way to kill this motherfucker in case he like really goes too far. And he was going too far.
Yeah,
She didn't get to pull the switch, but her assistant did. Who, by the way, this fucking assistant
Miss
girl,
Marvel,
is Miss
Miss
Marvel.
Marvel.
Drew told me, I was like looking at this character, I
Yeah,
was like, she's so familiar, I can't quite get it. From Marvels, the movie with Brie Larson, like the second one, right? It's on Disney Plus right now because it's the
well, it was
three.
from the show
I
Miss
never watched the
Marvel,
show, but
and then when she's like in high school or something, and then she was also in the Marvels, which is Captain Marvel 2.
so that's what I saw. I
Um,
actually really like the
yeah,
movie a lot. Yeah. So then her assistant, that girl plays her assistant, and she ends up killing Sentry.
yeah. I don't know. They don't say what it is. They call it a kill switch, but it's like they turn him off, kind of thing. Like he just goes and he falls over. But
Do you remember
then,
Mission Impossible 3? This is such a weird thing.
yeah, the bomb in the head.
Yeah, because that's what it looks like. It looks like there's
Kind
like
of,
that like
he was just
bomb
like,
chip in the head,
right,
because his eyes kind of glazed over, and that's
yeah,
what it
he's
kind of
like,
looked like. It was
sure,
like it was his brain.
yeah. But they never actually say what it does. They just
Right.
call it a kill switch.
Yeah.
So, but then anybody who knows the comics knows that he has like an alter ego called the Void. So after they
Drew
kind of
clocked that immediately. I was like, this guy's such
knocked
a
after
nerd.
they knocked him out, then we start to see the Void, and it looks very cool. Like, I mean, the Void in the comics, he's all black, right? They made him look very good in the movie. Like they did such a good job with that. It's kind of it's eerie and creepy, and
And I
you're
feel
just
like
like, oh
Drew's
man.
like photography kind of
Yeah,
mind was
totally.
like, it's so hard. And I'm paraphrasing, but I'm kind of quoting. He's like, it's so hard to like make all black have like dimension, and I did it perfectly. Because I don't know if you noticed, Phoenix, but like there's this like light on this cheekbone, and I can't wait to say this on the podcast because this
It's
is
like there was two
gold.
of me in the car right now because it was like, yeah, it was such a spot on impression of
Yeah.
how it's.
I was like, was there light on?
All
Okay.
there was, if you go back and watch it, there's the.
No, they did flawless job because it looked like a person,
Mm-hmm.
but it's complete. It's white. It
Yeah,
was all black. It was really really cool how they did that actually.
yeah. His eyes were very creepy, and he starts like voiding people out.
Yeah, I thought that void power was really cool because I feel like a lot of people in theater were gasping when he was
Mm-hmm.
doing it because it was like you do whatever they always do the same like move
Yeah,
as a superhero. I don't know what's always this.
just yeah,
Like what the fuck? Like I don't know.
yeah. I
Anyway,
mean, if you really have that power, do you need to extend your hand, or do
this
you just look at somebody and you can do it,
like nobody has wands
right?
anymore.
Yeah.
Not to bring us about Harry Potter. Not to bring Harry
Well,
Potter
because
into
the
this.
wand chooses the wizard, and maybe he didn't have time for the wand
If
to
anyone
choose
that
him.
understands wand law understands that. Anyway,
Right,
I digress. So he's doing this fucking thing, and the people. It looks like they just become like this almost black charcoal smoke that just
like kind of a
poofs.
silhouette,
Yeah,
like a charred shadow almost. Like yeah, and they just
yeah.
kind of and then
That
yeah.
becomes almost a permanent shadow on
hmm
wherever they end up having to be.
yeah.
And I didn't actually think they like died.
I wasn't sure what he was doing to them. You're kind of like, okay, is he's the void, and we got a couple glimpses of the void early on in the movie, but you don't technically know what it is. And so you're like, oh, okay, is he just like erasing these people? And it turns out he's like sending them to this void, and they go in and they live like their darkest memories,
Yeah, it's
basically,
almost like
and they're just stuck
purgatory or
there. Yeah,
something. Yeah, and they just get stuck in these really horrible memories, and you get to see specific memories from Yelena, get to see specific memories from Bob, and they're all
horrible.
crap
Yeah,
memories. Like I was telling Drew, I was like, listen, you definitely don't send me in the void because that's gonna suck. Unless the void is me at Three Broomsticks at Universal Studios with my favorite bartender having Yule balls,
yeah.
then I'm okay with that. Then okay,
She'd be like, where's my membership? I'm staying here. Where's my room? Can I sleep in this corner?
yeah,
Hand
I
me a
could stay
drink
there.
when I wake up.
Stay there for your I'm not mad
Yeah.
at that. Have a grand old time. Anyway, so yeah, they get stuck in this void, and then Yelena is. I honestly, I thought she. I don't know where this thoughts was coming from my mind, but I thought she physically sacrificed herself to go into the void. I thought because she was hoping to see like a memory of her sister, or just like I think it was more. I thought she was going to see something from her sister. Like that's what I was hoping for. That's why I thought she was doing that to be like, okay, and if I die here, then I will completely accept that. But hopefully, I can get to see this. That's not what happened. She saw some shitty memory of her
Yeah.
betraying her friend at school when she was at the red, what is it, Red Sparrow, was it
The red room.
red, she was like training at the red room, and
Yeah.
she fucking got this girl killed. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Terrible memory. Sad, 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 horrible,
She like
sad.
fights her way out of it.
She
Finds
fights,
Bob.
yeah, fights her way out of that. Multiple rooms, multiple dark places in her life, in her past, drinking, and her family is sad. Shit happened in the red room. And then she finally finds Bob's ass in a fucking
Yeah, he's
attic,
just chilling.
playing with toys and shit. And Bob's is just like this, innocent little,
He's just like accepted his fate in that room. He's
yeah,
like, this is the quietest one that I found. He's like, and then we see the memory and it's horrible and it involves him and his parents and abusive dad and all this stuff. And
yeah,
he's like, don't
horrible
worry,
stuff.
it'll be over in just a second. And she kind of like connects with him and they decide to get out together.
Mm-hmm.
But the room starts attacking him, but it's really the void, right?
Because the void wants to be in power, doesn't want
Right.
to
To
have
keep it
Bob
in
come
there.
back exactly,
Yeah. And
to
then
take control.
teamwork. The rest of the team kind of like
Yeah.
jumped in there after, found them, and they all got out
But the rest of
together
the
or
team
got
had to
to a spot.
decide to sacrifice themselves to the void as well,
Yeah.
not knowing what was on the other side. Which in itself, that's how you like to come back to Drew saying they're not bad guys.
Right.
Because they wouldn't have sacrificed themselves to actually make sure that she was okay, knowing you might not come back, knowing you might actually die.
Yep.
So they find their way through their own dark memories, right? So that's what I was sitting there thinking, like, oh my God, they actually had to sacrifice themselves and then fight through their own horrible, shitty memories to find them and then fight the void specifically to get everybody out. And I'm talking everybody out. Like once you actually fully defeated the void, Bob, which took a while. It's a whole process. It's a whole conversation.
Yeah.
It's a whole monologue.
There's a bunch of meaningful
Yeah.
stuff. Yelena like is the first one to get in there. She's like, "You're not alone. Like I'm with you." And then the whole team kind of gets in there, and it's basically like, "Yeah, you're the because the void is I'm always alone. It's just me, and it's always horrible and stuff." And
I'm nothing. I'm alone.
they're all
Yeah,
at the same time learning. You're not alone. We have each other.
exactly. Yeah.
Could have had Taskmaster too, but she is dead. So
Taskmaster would
R.I.P.
have loved to be there. She needed
Right.
somebody else. Anyway,
But yeah, then that's kind of like the climax, and then it comes out and it's like because they're fighting the void, and then you realize, oh, everybody was just in the void. They're not dead, and so the thing starts
mm-hmm.
coming back, and everybody's back.
Yeah, it's like the
And they're
blip.
just like, what
Yeah,
the? They're like,
exactly.
what the
Yeah.
fuck was that?
Yeah, everybody comes back, and it's great because you're like, okay, well, at least it wasn't all for nothing, and they sacrificed themselves to know that they are really a team. They're like that ride or die team. Bob conveniently doesn't remember any of
Yeah,
this.
he's like, what the fuck happened? They're like, really?
He's just completely clueless. It's almost
Yeah.
like it's so traumatizing. He like blocks it out.
Well, it's kind of like the Hulk thing, right? When like Banner's out, he's in control, but when the Hulk is out,
Hmm.
he's in control, and then he comes out, he's like, oh shit, what happened?
It's like
It's
a
kind of like,
werewolf. Like when his eyes were
yeah,
changing in the beginning, I was like, oh my god, is this guy like a werewolf?
yeah,
This is
which was pretty cool because it
crazy.
was like, oh, his eyes are a little different, but it's not so much that it's like comical.
Yeah,
Um,
they did a really great job with like I was saying, it didn't look too CGI. It didn't look
no,
too comic
no, and
booky.
that was a good thing too. Is it was very grounded. You know, there wasn't a ton of CGI. There was cool fight stuff that involved the super strong ones, but nothing that was like beyond ridiculous. Um,
No, I think a lot
yeah,
of and how was it been 5 years since Endgame? You were saying?
in real life,
Yeah, in our
six
timeline,
years,
it's been
6 years
five,
now.
6 years
Yeah.
since Endgame was released. So I feel like there was so much like overcompensating once that movie came out. It was such a hit, obviously, but you're doing so much with the shows, you're doing so much with all these other
Hmm.
things that it's hard for the audience to like reconnect and remember why you actually like movies like this without trying so hard, without making it look too campy,
Right.
making it too cheesy,
Going over the
like
top with
just so,
everything.
so over the top unnecessarily. And they really kept it grounded. They really kept it like comedic timing was
Yep.
amazing. Um, who's the guy that
Red
plays?
Guardian,
Oh, Fred Guardian is so
David Harbour.
good. Oh my
He's
god,
amazing.
he's so fucking
He's
funny.
just got such good like goofball,
Yeah,
like harmless teddy bear kind of humor. And
that's
it's
just
perfect.
like
Like,
the guy you just want to love and you want to love you. He was such
yeah.
a like Drew was saying, the heart in the
Hmm.
story, and it was a really nice like way to bring all the characters together. Um, honestly, a lot of people had really great comedic timing. I thought it was awesome, and overall, I think it was really really great.
Hmm.
I think always it's a Marvel movie, so you wonder if there's going to be any clips at the end
Oh
after.
yeah. Do we want to spoil the clips or?
I don't have to.
I mean, so there's a funny little one first in the credits.
But make sure you stay
It's
after the
just kind
credits,
of
though.
like, yeah, but stay all the way through because then there's kind of a big one at the end, and it's a long one too. It's like a whole other scene.
Yeah, the end scene was actually pretty long, and there
Hmm.
and there was a nice little. I don't want to say Easter egg because that's not the right phrase. It's a nice little like
Yeah.
reveal, I guess,
Right.
like surprising reveal in
Yep.
there.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff. Definitely stay till the end. Overall, I highly recommend the movie. It's very good. You don't have to have seen like every single Marvel movie
Mm-hmm.
before it. Um, but yeah,
Which
very
is
good.
great. Yeah,
Hopefully, this means Marvel's back on track.
I hope so. Thunderbolts,
Yep.
the little league
Oh yeah, that was such a good
soccer
running joke.
team that didn't
Yeah,
won
we didn't win
one
a
single
single game.
game. But the
It was
Thunderbolts,
good.
like I like what I was like, oh, I like how they kind of brought that around together. I
Hmm.
think that worked really well. Yeah, really good movie. Highly recommend. I would definitely see it again. It's one of those movies that I think when it's released on like streaming
Oh,
services,
I'll be
I'll
streaming
just
it.
buy it,
Yeah.
and then that's something that I could just happily have on like
Yep.
on a normal day, whatever, just like
It's a good
geeking
background
around the
movie for
house. Yeah, it's a
sure.
good
Yeah.
background movie for sure.
Good humor.
Yeah, really, really good. I'm glad. It's been a long day, and I didn't actually think I was gonna make it to the theater, let alone make it back to the car, so we can have this quick little jam session with you, if you will. But I'm glad we made that happen.
Yeah. More to
Yeah,
come. There's a bunch of good movies coming out.
bunch
So
of movies coming. We found out Mission Impossible.
been a long day. All right. Yeah. Mission Impossible is coming
Mission
out
Impossible.
in May. 3-ish weeks. Which I forgot. I was thinking it was like coming out in June or July or something, but yeah, coming out in just a few weeks. I don't know if we'll do a recap for that. I don't know if we need to,
No,
but
because I think on like I think our last podcast that was released, we talked about movies coming out this summer. And I swear I thought Mission Impossible was coming out. And why can't I say impossible at the same? Mission Impossible was coming out in June or July, but it's coming out at the end of May,
yep,
so we have to see that.
yeah, pretty
I
soon.
missed the Tron trailer, but
Don't worry, I sent it to her when it came out, and she didn't watch it either.
yeah.
So
Oh darn, you did. Oh,
yeah,
I guess I didn't watch that. Yeah, I guess you're
yeah,
right. Well, I'm down for a little Tron moment because that's a vibe. Jurassic Park. I don't remember when that was coming up, but I'm down for that.
that's all in July too. It's Jurassic Park, Superman, and Fantastic Four all in July.
God.
Yeah, movie theater's gonna make a bunch of money.
I mean, awesome. I'm here for it, but
It just sucks because they're all gonna cannibalize each other. You know, it's like you can't have one movie for a few weeks and everybody watches, and then
enjoy
another
it
one
and
for a few
talk
weeks.
about it and live in
It's
it.
literally like boom, boom, boom.
That's
So
kind of unfortunate, especially I think because like a lot did not come out last year, so they're all like really overcompensating with trying to get all the movies
Yeah.
out at the same time.
Yeah, they're all fighting for that
Mm-hmm.
like 4th of July holiday kind of timing, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, very successful night.
Hmm.
Very good movie. Marvel Thunderbolts.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend. 10. I don't know if I'd say 10 out of 10, but right
I
now
would
I'd say
I would say 8.5.
I'd say I'd say
Yeah.
I'd say 8.5. 8.5 out of 10 for sure. Yeah, I'm actually excited to see it again, so I'm glad we got to see that. Absolutely,
Sweet.
I'm excited for more movies this summer
All
and this year, and I'm excited to go home.
right. So we're gonna wrap it up.
Oh, I'm excited to lay
Tiny bit longer
down.
than we thought, but not
Yeah,
as long as we
not
were afraid it would
anywhere
be.
near as
So
long as
yeah,
last summer we did the
yeah, a little too long. But
Hotel Chronicles of these
all
series.
right,
But well, thank you. Thanks, unofficial co-host Drew
always a pleasure.
Daly, and thank you all for watching. If you did see the movie, again, there's some spoilers, but if you did see the movie, please let me know your thoughts. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, is it something now, hopefully after watching this, you would like to see? Let us know. I love to hear your feedback. I love to hear from you as well, and I will see you all very, very soon.
Mm.
Bye.
Rockstar.